Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us again on this Thursday. Today's workshop is Resources for Success, and thank you for joining us. And we'll go ahead and introduce the facilitators.
Hey, how's everyone doing? My name is Willie Lapori. I am the Success Fellow for the Napa region, tending to all the students that are attending Napa Valley Community College, get their associates or certificate or transfer on to a four-year school. And I was a part of the program. I was an alumni of the program, had great fellows all the way through my college journey. So excited. And then thanks again for you guys coming out today to take time out of your summer day to come and get some tips and tricks for your college journey.
And my name is Ursula. I am actually the UC Success Fellow. So I work with students at the different UC campuses. And I'm also an alumni of the program as well. So I've been on the student side of this. So definitely excited to have you guys just talk with each other, meet with each other, and just learn. And with no further ado, we'll head straight into our workshop. Just a little run through of what we will be doing today. Essentially, we're going to go over some very broad general situations / scenarios that you may find yourself in, or maybe your friend in. We're just going to talk together in groups, kind of just talk through these scenarios, figure out really what you would do if you find yourself in a situation, and just find some resources, ask lots of questions. But yeah, we'll go ahead and go over the very first scenario together, and hopefully you'll participate with us, either unmuting yourself or just putting it in the chat, like some possible resources or what you would do in these situations.
On to the next one.
Okay, awesome. So this first scenario, Jordan started to experience some anxiety about balancing classes and social life. They feel overwhelmed, they're depressed, and they just want to sleep all the time. So if you were Jordan, where would you go to find support? There are no wrong answers. It's definitely a learning experience. So please feel free to share any ideas, any answers.
Feel free to unmute yourself or just type in the chat.
I'll share.
Right,
Yes.
awesome.
So it's JC. So I think one of the resources that I would tap into as a student is most university and college campuses have a health resource center that have trained professionals to deal with, especially students and anxiety, test anxiety, worry, concern, those sorts of things. So I would check with seeing what health resources are on the campus that are available to students.
Perfect. And as many of you said in the chat too, very similarly, talk to a counselor, a teacher, a wellness center. So JC was definitely right about that. It sounds like that's pretty much a unanimous answer.
I'm getting a lot of counselor, wellness centers in the chat, or teacher.
I would like to add to that. See, I'm undocumented, but I came here at a young age, and so we had like resources for students that, have gone to related experiences such as mine. If we could if there was resources for us such as counseling, but total kind of different, more support for people who come to the United States feeling overwhelmed by how it's structured and how we have less resources. So kind of having someone there for that, kind of like a counselor, but specialized for undocumented people. Yeah.
Yeah, actually some campuses do offer dream centers or undocumented programs that are specific to kind of what Oswaldo was saying, is that a different experience. And so if you also need help accessing those resources and finding that, because sometimes they're not always available or always like super easy to find on their website, definitely reach out to one of your advisors or success fellows, because they will help you find those resources. So definitely tap into that resource as well. But yeah, it sounds like we kind of get the gist of it. And so we'll go on to the next scenarios before we head out into breakout rooms.
All right, sweet. And I'll take it from here. Go to the second slide. All right, so scenario 2. Tony is excited to be attending college this semester. They attended Summerbridge and feel well equipped with knowledge about his campus. He notices he's having a hard time being able to write and listen. He finds that he focuses really hard, but at the end of the day, at the end of the class, he has no notes. During his test, he finds that he is having a hard time reading the questions and does not have enough time to finish the test. What should Tony do?
Ya vemos.
And as we go into breakout rooms, we'll talk more, dive into this scenario.
Yeah, so feel free to join them as you get that notification.
All right, sweet. As you guys are all coming back and kind of talking through the space, do you guys get some good answers, or anyone feel comfortable sharing what you guys' room were talking about? Or if you don't feel comfortable unmuting yourself, totally just dump it up in the chat. It's like Vegas in here. Anything in here stays here. So just like Vegas.
We was just talking about how to communicate with the professor or anybody else who, in regards to concerns we have or questions.
Definitely, yeah. The professor can be a definitely good resource to talk about maybe not learning the material enough, and kind of just finding ways to better yourself in that class. I know talking in my group, I'm talking about kind of my past experiences. I had a learning disability, or just like test anxieties for like my math classes. So I talked with my professor, then also went to the student center and kind of got hooked up with them, and I got extended hours, a couple extended hours for like taking my test and taking my time when I would have like a test or a final. So it's definitely just advocate for yourself and just telling your professor or your counselor that you might need some accommodations on a test, or maybe you might need a note taker. In Tony's scenario here, he says he's having trouble taking notes also, so that's another great resource. What else we got in the chat? Yep, definitely talking to the teacher, taking note takers. Oh yeah, that's a good
I
one.
also added in there in regards to a major and minor, because I want more details in that.
About majors and minors and all that stuff. Definitely can help you out with that, save you for the questions at the end. Definitely, Mark, your fellows can also request accommodations and connect you with accessibilities with services on campus. So definitely good things to take in mind if you're feeling like Tony through your college experience here. And just advocate for yourself. That's a big thing. You're going to keep hearing me. I'm sound like a broken drum. I'm keep saying that. But advocate for yourself. Make sure that you succeed to the best of your ability.
In my group, I kind of focus. I kind of give advice to always ask questions. Never be afraid to ask questions, because they don't know. Maybe in the same room, someone else has that question that they also try to ask about. So, like I said, and to also ask questions and take advantage of office hours, because you really want the teacher to notice you, and also so he could accommodate whatever necessary needs you need.
Definitely. Thanks, Luis. Definitely office hours. Take advantage of that. We'll go into more.
In my group,
which
we talked about, like everyone's saying, professor and stuff like that, ask for extensions, but we also talked about like the little animation on the right, like self-care, like taking naps. One of my group mates said taking naps, making sure your health is, in check and stuff like that.
Definitely taking care of yourself. That's a big one. A great philosopher once said, Marshawn Lynch, take care of your bread and take care of your mentals. So definitely take care of yourself. Make sure you're checking in and doing stuff that you enjoy too also. All right, anybody else? Thanks you guys for volunteering and unmuting yourself. Kind of a shock for me. Usually I'm used to reading all the stuff in the chat right now. So I appreciate you guys coming up and speaking for us. So I appreciate you guys. Definitely ask questions and get accommodations. And the test, the learning disabilities like HDH, definitely We all. I think we talked about this scenario enough. I think we're ready to move on. One more to go.
Yes.
All right. For this next scenario, very similar, super broad, but in this scenario, Sam discovers they are running low on funds. Unfortunately, their family cannot help them. Where can they go to find out about getting a part-time job on or near campus, or any resources that might be able to help them out?
I'm sorry that I'm answering the question, but I just want to add to that because actually was when I went to visit my campus, which is Contra Costa College here in Richmond, California. I was I asked about the jobs because I can't get any other job right here due to my legal status, and they actually told me to go ask where I wanted like work on. So they asked so for example, if I wanted to help out with admissions or be in admissions, they told me go ask the admissions team if they had an open spot. So I kind of got the experience due to that, and I just wanted to share it on here.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing out.
Yes, that is exactly. I'm like, Oswald already got us in like thinking in the right direction. And we're gonna be heading out into another breakout room too. So hopefully Oswald will also maybe be able to share a little more detail too, just about that experience. So go ahead and feel free to join those breakout rooms as you get notified.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. We're waiting for people to come back from their breakout rooms. Give us a couple seconds and we'll resume shortly.
Do you guys require like a handful of skill sets to take the job that you guys have taken?
Which job are you talking about specifically?
Such as your job title or the other staff?
Yeah, actually, each of our roles that we have here at 10,000 Degrees, we have a job description, and on there's a minimum qualification for each role, which it varies depending on the role, on what the hiring manager is looking for. And so every position that you look at, you want to look for know what your qualifications are, and if it works with the role, and then align it with the qualifications of the position you're applying for. And if it is a match and they're parallel with each other, I always encourage to apply. If you're close to the qualifications but really have the drive for it, I always still encourage you to apply, because you can definitely develop and grow into the role, and they might take that opportunity and consider you for the position.
Thank you.
So I highly encourage to work with your success fellow. We have a career success director here at 10,000 Degrees for you to also check in with, to talk about anything career related. And so we provide a lot of internship support, job hunting, navigation, and career pathway resources. So always, just like we're doing our event today, throughout the year, we'll host career success events that you will be able to participate in too.
Yes, and one last question.
Hmm?
And this is just a personal question. Not very personal, but in a case that, let's say, someone does not know their skill sets or their skills or you know, what they are good at, do you have any advice for me in ways that I can like find just in your perspective?
Yes, everybody has skills and everybody has talents that you can offer to any community you want to work in. And so actually Ursula and Willie will share with you in a little bit our career and internship website that you each have access to. And during your one-on-ones with your fellow, you can talk through what those skills that you have are and how you can brand them for yourself on your LinkedIn profile, on your resume and cover letter throughout the year. And so we'll get into details for that on where to find that website in a couple moments.
Thank you so much, man.
No worries. And I'll hand the mic off to Ursula and Willie.
I'm like, I love the conversation that was happening. So I think we learned a lot just from that conversation. But yeah, I'm curious, what's just some feedback that, you guys got from your groups? We heard a little bit before we headed into the breakout rooms, but I'd love to hear some more ideas and just thoughts, post breakouts. Feel free to unmute or put it in the chat, whatever you're most comfortable with.
Honestly, I feel that college is best for those who are trying to empower themselves into something, because in reality, my first option was just go to work. After high school, graduate and go to work. But I also got well, my mom's advice. She's an undocumented mother who struggled to come to the US, and now that she's in the US, she's working in the fields. But it's just been working, works, so on. And when I was young, I wanted to go to college. Thus it changed growing up. But it came back to me. And in reality, it's more than just what you are gonna provide as work, because as people living in a society so 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 different that there's a variety of cultures, and we are just subjected to one thing, which is, for me, it's discrimination. But with us as people of color, in my case, we can empower ourselves through this college, and showing that we can do this is just more. So yes, this college is uplifting, and having these programs such as 10,000 degrees, it's a blessing to us. It's a blessing to me, because I could right now, I could be thinking about how am I gonna make it? How am I gonna push it? But I don't really have to worry about that, because I have the support, and it's just coming through. So I really appreciate this from y'all, and I would just like to give you a thanks.
I'm like, yes, thank you for sharing. I'm like, that definitely, I don't know, that made me feel pretty good. I hope it made the rest of the 10 the success staff feel really good.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, but I also heard from in the chat too, just like apps that are available, career hubs for these different campuses as well. So just, yeah, like Oswaldo said, just know there's a giant support system that's out there waiting for you, 10,000 degrees included, but definitely reach out and we can always help access those resources. But does anybody else have anything else to share? If not, we can move right along.
Sweet. Before I dive right into this, we got the poll coming up, right? Or we're gonna have a quick little poll check right here, or poll, a little temperature check. Kind of just have your questions. I know, somewhat, yes.
I'm like, please. I'm like, even if you learned anything, even if you learned someone's name, that's learning something new.
Get those results pretty quick. Thank you guys again for taking time out of your day, showing up. I know there's better things to do than be on a Zoom call in the middle of summer. I appreciate you guys for taking the right steps in your direction for your college career.
You guys gotta give yourself a thanks too for taking time out of your day, and just giving yourself some. Yeah, it's good to give yourself some love, because even though it's work for y'all, you're actually helping us. And yeah, y'all deserve some of that thanks.
Appreciate that, Waldo. I appreciate that a lot. Sweet. Finishing up the poll a little bit.
last call to take in the response.
It's how we track attendance. So Carla put in the chat. So make sure you get marked for attendance.
All right, sweet. Looks like we got 76% saying yes, I've learned something new. Awesome.
Yay.
18% somewhat, hey, learned something. And then no, I've heard all of this before. So 6%, you're ahead of the game. Appreciate you guys taking the time and doing the poll real quick, and we'll get into the next part of the presentation. Kind of another resource, kind of going back into scenario 2 with my dude Tony, where he's having trouble kind of learning and develop or learning kind of through his classes. And we have Upchieve through 10,000 Degrees, kind of partnered up with them. And Upchieve is an online platform that will pair you with a trained academic coach whenever you need the help with like math, science, college planning, then also maybe some essays or writing, all that fun stuff you got to do throughout your college journey. You can interact with your coach using the platform by a texting feature that's built into like a whiteboard, and kind of keep the documents and kind of see what stuff you're doing for that certain subject or class. And it's available 24/7. So I highly recommend you guys taking advantage of this resource. I know we kind of talked about maybe going to office hours, and then also maybe the math lab or like the tutoring centers or the writing centers on campus, which is a great resource also. But sometimes you might have that, you might have finals or you might have midterms, and it's just going to be jam packed. You're going to have to wait for a tutor for maybe an hour, up to an hour. So Upcheese is another resource you can do too, because it's 24 hours and you can kind of schedule your own plan and meet up with an academic coach. So definitely take advantage of that. We have a joint account with them. So the 10th, as you guys can see right here, and I think we'll drop the links in the chat for you to take advantage of. And just, if you have a mobile phone or iOS or Android, and you sign up with the code 10KD or 10K, you're going to be up to with our program from Upchieve. So definitely take advantage of that whenever you need. Just chat up, maybe have a simple question about a math problem or maybe a bio problem, a bio formula. Definitely take advantage of that, and you can just text them the formula and try to get your answers back real quick. With your peer coach, there's no audio or film functions for your privacy, and there is no limit to how often you can request help. So you can use it whenever you need that help. And it doesn't matter how long the session lasts and how many questions you have. So come in with all the questions that you need answered that day. It can help with wide range from pre-algebra all the way up to calculus and all that stuff too. Like I said earlier, also science, biology, chemistry, physics. And then on the bottom, kind of, I don't know if you guys can see that, maybe it's just me, but you can also get help with the writing your essays and all that fun stuff that you're going to have to do throughout your college journey. So definitely take advantage of Upchieve, another great resource that we provide through 10,000 Degrees. And on to the next slide, please.
Also, a quick thing, if you ever have trouble logging in or like it's not working for you, please reach out to your 10KD success advisor, anybody on their team, so that way we can make sure you have access, okay?
Thank you, Ursula. Yes, we're here to help also, so definitely more than happy to help with that and get you into that resource. All right, sweet. Next slide, please. I know Carla kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but also kind of going back to the other scenario too, we were talking about maybe trying to find a job on or off campus. We also, 10,000 Degrees has a career center service, and we can get you hopefully a nice job or get you a job around the area and maybe an internship, and kind of get to see job posted around your area. It's not too hard of a process. We've got 3 easy steps. Check out the opportunities, but just don't apply just yet. Just see what, maybe highlight a couple that you're really interested in, something maybe in your field. If you see an internship, maybe you're a media communications major and you see something pop up for a graphic design internship around the Bay Area, definitely just kind of highlight that one and keep it in your thing. And then you're going to want to do is brush up on your resume in your cover letter, something that we can totally help out with. The fellows more than happy to help out with doing that stuff. I've helped out my my caseload, my students with their resumes and doing their cover letters for applying for internships or jobs. And also another thing you're going to want to brush up on too is the LinkedIn. Another thing that you might want to just check up to date and kind of have, because a lot of jobs are asking for it nowadays, just going into the new tech media world that we're living in, and something that just always nice to have. And then for your job, kind of just like another third thing that you're going to need besides your cover letter and your resume. And then, like I said, step 3, just get in contact with your 10KD fellow. Make sure that to have us as a resource and just kind of advocate for you and get ready, get these steps all ready for you, and hopefully get these jobs, get you into the job or internship that you'd really like to apply for and hopefully get into. Anything I missed, Ursula or Carla, on this slide?
Just know that our career success director is new, so be on the lookout for her announcement or communication coming from her. There'll be lots of opportunities for you to connect with her. Just as Willie said too, I did want to add, like, we do interview prep too. So if you have like an interview coming up, I just want to offer that, because I've met with a lot of students who are like, I don't know how to prepare. Like, what do I do? We can ask you some questions, run through your answers, like how to prepare best. So just know whatever questions you have, we can support you. We can connect you. If we don't have the answers or resources, we'll make sure that you find them. Okay. So that's pretty much it.
Sweet. Thank you, Ursula. I think we're on to the next slide, if you could. All right, sweet. We're getting to the end of it, guys, I promise. But just wanted to give, we kind of done this the last couple of weeks, just remember where you're at, what schools you're going to. If you're going to a 4-year, you want to follow us on Instagram, keep up to date with everything 10,000 degrees, and maybe also the resources on your college campus. If you're a 4-year, 10KD Success is one that you want to follow, and then everything else, SRJC, South Bay, COM, West Contra Costa, Napa, and 10KD, give a follow out, because then there might be postings about stuff going on campus and giving you up-to-dates about 10,000 degrees and resources that we like to give to you and give shout outs to, so that you guys can hopefully get yourself engaged on campus and through 10,000 degrees. So hit that follow, subscribe, follow me on YouTube, on Instagram and Twitter. All right, on to the next slide, please. All right, sweet. We're at the end of it. Takeaways: get to know your campus, kind of see yourself, or not see yourself, but get on campus, kind of see where your resources are at, see where the writing center, the English center, all those like tutoring centers are at. And then the transfer center is another big one. The student center, also the welcome center. I'm just going to go naming off all these, but I'll stop there. But just get yourself involved on campus, and then advocate for yourself. It's always kind of hard to be most of the time your biggest critic, but you got to advocate for yourself and to make sure that you get the best possible outcome for your college journey throughout these next 4 to 5 years, 6 years sometimes, even if it takes that long. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Anything else you'd like to add, Ursula?
That's pretty much it. And that brings us to the end of our presentation. Any questions? Anything else?
Oh, wait, we got one more, don't we? I lied.
Oh, yes, you're right. We do. We have one more reminder for everyone. So please don't go away.
My bad, guys. I promise this is it. All right. Enjoy the 4th of July weekend. Have fun. Be safe. I sound like my mother, but be safe. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. We're going to take a break next week. Don't have to show up on Zoom for an hour for this transition to college expectation, but we'll be having it back on the 14th. So enjoy yourself this next week. Go have some fun, and we'll hopefully see you guys back for how to build your community on July 14th on Thursday, 2 to 3 the same time.
Thank you, guys. And one last question. I did miss out on your Zoom meeting for LinkedIn for students, and I have a question regarding that. Is that still open to us, or like for the ones who missed it, or was it just a one-time opportunity?
I had the same question.
we actually host LinkedIn for Students multiple times throughout the year. The next one will happen in October. We will do like Career Tuesdays for you all. So you will be able to attend that live event and receive your free LinkedIn premium at that point. So you're not too late. You're gonna have multiple options throughout the year, and the next one will be in October. And your Success Fellow will be promoting that out to you once the school year starts.
Great. Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm,
Thank you.
worries.
Thank all of you and have a great day.
You too. See you on the 14th.